Welcome to Armand Academy. Like and subscribe for more content and drop your doubts in the comments. Share with your friends and classmates. For private tuition in these subjects across all boards and universities, contact me here or the link in the description. Let's get started. Now, we're going to look at the last situation where a firm in a perfectly competitive market is not making a profit, whether it is normal or abnormal, it is not making profit, it is making a loss. Okay, it's making a loss. And the way in which we can show a loss in a perfectly competitive market is if I was to take this U-shaped curve, this U-shaped ATC curve downwards. Okay, and I've already done this in a previous video. So I'm going to select, okay, I'm going to go ahead and select this and drag it down. Just to show you all a situation where if I was to do this, it's a profit because your ATC is now below your AR. But what happens if I drag it upwards? What happens if I do this? Now we are in a situation, okay? Now we are in a situation where, okay, and let me make it a little symmetrical. Now we are in a situation where the average total cost is more than the average revenue corresponding to the equilibrium point. Okay, so I have to continue selling at this price, but the cost, average cost corresponding is here. That means if I want to make normal profit, I need to sell here, but I am stuck over here because that is where the demand curve is. All right, and therefore this entire region ends up becoming my loss. Ends up becoming my loss. Okay, now what have I just done? I have shown a situation where you have the ATC curve, okay, the ATC curve going, okay, that means costs have increased. But that is not always going to be the case. It could also be prices have fallen. And if prices have fallen, means demand curve goes down like this. Okay, and this gives me a good opportunity to neatly redo that last part. Okay, so I'm going to take out all of these fellows and I'm going to write it again, where I'm saying that the demand curve is price is equal to average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. Okay, and what is happening over here? We have a situation where the cost corresponding to, and this is important, corresponding to equilibrium. Where are we at equilibrium? Where MR is equal to MC. Now that is no longer over here. That situation is now over here. Okay, that situation is now over here because where MR is equal to MC, that is important for me. Now, if the prices have fallen, then I can show how quantity is reduced, but I don't have to do that. Okay, I have to start from scratch saying that this is our, okay, this is our quantity at equilibrium, and our equilibrium point is no longer up over there. Our equilibrium point is going to be over here. Okay, it is going to be over here. And now if I was to extend it upwards and connect it, this entire shaded region, okay, this entire shaded region is going to be my loss because my price is no longer here. My price is this. Okay. Now, just so that everyone understands properly, I'm going to draw this diagram one more time. Okay. And remember, we have to start from scratch. Rarely we have to show a situation where you are in normal and then you go to abnormal profit or loss. Okay, so if I want to show that price is equal to, okay, and let's not make that mistake again. Demand is equal to average is equal to price is equal to average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. Okay, this tick mark you don't have to worry about. Okay, wherever it happens, it happens. Just nicely, confidently put one marginal cost curve. Okay, what you have to be careful about now is where you put the average total cost curve. I want to show loss. That means it has to be above the AR curve. Where are we at equilibrium? Our equilibrium point, E, is over here. That means ATC has to be above, something like this. Okay, something like this. And remember, it has to be a U shape and try and like keep it away from the MC. Okay, so I'm going to do something like this, something like this. Okay, and this is my ATC curve. And now I'm going to extend it upwards and touch it here and then go over here. Okay, so I would have wanted to sell at this price because I would have made a normal profit at this price, but I'm selling over here. And therefore, this entire shaded region is my loss. Okay, short and sweet. Also, you have to explain the curve. Okay, so please, the labeling is important. And then back to the loss diagram here. And from this, we're going to explain what's happening. All right, so in the above diagram, price is on the y-axis and quantity demanded and supplied is on the x-axis. The demand curve D is equal to P is equal to AR is equal to MR marked by, all right. And remember, when the reason I redid the diagram was because price by default is anyway, price by default is anyway up. Okay, so the demand curve is the price, which is equal to the average revenue, which is equal to the marginal revenue. All right. And the marginal revenue and marginal cost curve intersect at point T, resulting in equilibrium point Q. Okay. And since since the average total cost curve is at a point, okay, is at a point higher than the price corresponding to the equilibrium quantity, the firm incurs a loss represented by the shaded region P, E, F, and maybe you can call this PN. Okay. Therefore, in the short run, a firm in a perfectly competitive market can make a loss. All right. Now, what's also important is that in the long run, what will end up happening? You'll have a situation. You'll have a situation where you'll have a situation where if there are losses, some firms will exit exit the market. Okay, and when some firms will exit the market, okay, the supply will decrease, and because of that, prices increase. Okay, and you could have a situation where the price actually goes back up to the level of normal profit, and then we are back to a situation of normal profit. Okay, with that, I'm done. Any doubts, feel free to ask.